Hello, everybody. This is Mac. This is Combining Like Terms version C. There is a version A and a version B. I work more quickly as I go on, so go back and look at those versions if you haven't done as well. There's also a video where I explain more how to do these, and you can find that on maxtutorials.com. Please go there. I have a wealth of knowledge that'll really help you through your math class. Okay? Also, if you guys can like and subscribe on this, that would really, really help me out. So if you're getting some value out of this, please make it known. Okay, let's start with this first one right here. Right here, I have an x value. I have an x squared. I have an x. And I have an x squared. I'm underlining the signs as well as the numbers. Now remember, when I do like terms, I only care about the variable or the letter and the exponent of the letter. The coefficients, like the 4, there's nothing here, the 2, the 9, these mean nothing. I'm not even paying attention to them. I'm only looking at the letters and the exponents. So when I start, I have a 9x minus an x. So that's just 9, right? No, but that's what I see students do a lot. You have to remember, when they don't write a number in front, that's assumed to be a 1. So it's really 9x minus 1x, which is 8x. And when I combine my x squareds, I have a positive 2 plus a 4. That's a positive 6x squared. Now, this answer is correct. It's a correct answer, but it's not in a form that we really like to see. We always like to see the highest exponent written first. So if I rearrange these, it's a positive 6x squared, so I just write 6x squared. And it's a positive 8x, so I write plus 8x. That way my exponents are kind of in a descending order, which is the way we like to see these. Let's go on to number 2. I have a y squared, I have a y, and I have a y squared. Now I look for my underlines to match. 12y squared plus 5y squared is 17y squared. And the y has no friends to combine with, so we just copy him. And I write minus because the minus goes with the 7. Okay? Go on to number 3. I have a 6a. I have an a squared. I have an a. And I have a number. A number is a term. He just has no letters, so he's very different. So the only things I have in common are my a's. Now, let's go ahead and start with the highest exponent, so we can always write these in kind of the right form. So I'm going to write a 4a squared. I cross them out so I don't get them mixed up. I do that when I have a lot of things. Okay, and then I look at this next one, and I see a 6a minus 2a. Well, that's just a 4a, but what flavor of 4a? Well, the bigger number is positive. You can even do this if it really helps you. So it's going to say positive, so I write a plus. And then the 1 is out here by him, it's lonesome, so I'm going to write him down. Don't forget him. Don't leave him alone. Here I have a b squared, I have a b, and I have a b squared. Here are my like terms, which becomes a 19b squared. And then I just copy down the other term. Okay? Number 5, I have an m, I have an m squared, and I have an m. Here are my like terms. 8m minus 5m is 3m. I want to write the squared first, so I'm going to write 6m squared as a positive 3m, so I write a plus in between. Number 6, I have an x squared, I have an x, I have an x squared. Let's start with the x squared. 17 plus 2 is 19x squared, and then I just copy down the one that's all by himself. On number 17, I have a p, I have a p cubed, I have just a number floating out, and look, I have another p cubed. Well, I give this one a double underline, so I'm going to give this one a double underline. Okay? So now, the highest exponent is my p cubed, so I'm going to start there. 7p cubed minus 2p cubed is just a 5p cubed. What comes next? That would be my p, and so I'm going to write plus 4p, and then I'm going to copy down my 3. All right? Let's go on to number 8. I have an n squared, I have an n, and I have another n squared. So these are my like terms. I read it as 16 plus 6, which would be a 22 n squared, and I just copy down my n component. Okay? Let's go to number 8. I have an r cubed, I have an r squared, I have another r cubed, so he gets the same 1 underline, and I have an r. Well, he's not like any of them, so he's going to get the 3. So these are my like terms I'm going to combine. 8 minus 3 is 5r cubed. Then I have the plus r squared, and then I have my plus 2r. And there you go. One more column. Here we go, guys. Stick with this. This is a lot of work, but man, it's going to be so cool if you know how to do this and feel good with it. All right? It's going to really help you. Here we go. We have an M, We have an m squared. I have another m, and I have a number, and that's how I find my like terms. Now, let's start with our squareds. So I'm going to write 5m squared. Now I'm going to do my m's. 18 minus 9, that's a positive 9m. And then I just have a plus 3 floating out. Boom. Notice how I always say a plus 6, a plus 3, a minus 2. Say things like that. It'll really help you to not make the errors that people tend to make. Not because they're stupid, not because they're bad at math, but because maybe they didn't say everything in the process and they were trying to go quickly. The enemy of good math is speed and trying to just go fast and do things in your head. When you write things out, when you say them out, when you take just a couple extra seconds, you're going to get these right. Everybody can be good at math. You just got to have a process, and hopefully you're getting that from me. Okay? All right, here we go. I have a 5p squared minus a 3p squared is a 2p squared. Die. Now I have, which one do I write next? Let's go the plus 4p next, so I can keep this in my descending form, and then plus 6. Squared, letter, number. That's what I like to see. All right, here we go. Here's my x. Here's my x squared. Here's another x. So I'm going to combine. Well, actually, I should start with my x squared, shouldn't I? And that's a negative 11x. So I'm going to write negative 11x squared. And now I'm going to combine my 20x and my 3x, and I'm going to get a positive 23x. Okay? Let's go on to number 13. I have a y squared. I have a number. I have a y. And now I have a y squared. Well, that's my single underline, just like this guy over here. All right, well, I want to start with y squared, so let's combine them. What's 7y squared plus y squared? Well, remember, that's a 1, right? So that's just 8y squared. Then these have no friends, so I copy them, but I want to start with my negative 5y, and then I want to finish with my plus 8. Okay? Let's go on to number 9. I have an n, I have a number, I have an n squared, and I have another n. Well, my n is already single line, so I'm going to single line him. Let's start with my n squareds. 6n squared. Now I want to do my n's, which is 9 plus 7, which is plus 16n. And I finish with just copying my minus 4. All right, let's go on to number 15. Just a few more here. I have an a squared, I have an a, and I have another a squared. Well, let's start with our a squareds. I read it as 14 plus 2, which is 16a squared, and he has no friends, so I just copy him down. Okay? Now I get a b, a number, a b squared, and a b. Well, my b is already single underlined, so I'm going to single underline him. Let's start with our b squareds. So minus 5b squared, negative 5b squared. Now I'm going to combine my b's. 8 plus 4 is a positive 12b, and I'm left with just a plus 9. Number 17, I have an x squared, I have an x, I have an x squared. Hey, cool. I have an x. Cool. So let's start with our x squared. What is 6x squared minus 3x squared? That is right, it is a 3x squared. Boom, boom. Now I'm not going to mix them up. Now I have a positive 5 and a positive 7, so that's going to give me a positive 12x. And lastly, I've got a y, I've got a y squared, I've got a y, I've got a y squared. Okay? So let's do our y squared first. 6 plus 3, 9y squared. Then I have a 10y minus 2y, that's a positive 8y. Okay? And when it's all said and done, you now know how to combine like terms. I hope this worked well for you. It's going to really help you moving forward. Again, like and subscribe if this was helpful to you. Let other people know about it. Other than that, you guys are now pros at combining like terms. We'll see you in the next section.